Gonzalez from Latinbox Sports, live here at the Slip Punches Show with special guest Florida boxer welterweight Mark Reyes Jr. How you doing today, Mark?
I'm doing well, Damon. Thank you for having me. I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here, and pleasure to do this interview with you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Mark Reyes Jr. will be back in the ring. We're looking at a scheduled date coming up of November 10th here in Tampa, Florida. He's going to be fighting locally in the area at the Bryan Glazer Family JCC off of 522 North Howard Avenue. Doors open at 7 p.m. How you doing today, Mark?
I'm doing great, Damon. I'm doing well. Body feels great from camp. We're just ready to get in there November 10th and put on a show for everyone that'll be there in attendance to watch.
Mark, you've been working very hard. Okay, this training camp is really, really important to you. You've been spending a lot of time in camp, conditioning, training, getting ready for your next opponent. You're coming off of a KO win in your last fight.
Right.
Okay, you know, the engine's running. Let's talk about this fight and what you're bringing into the table November 10th.
This fight is definitely going to be a fight that I look for making a statement. It's a durable guy. I look forward to getting him out of there early, showing how hard I've been working. We've been in camp for months now. This has been a full training camp. Body's completely ready. Nothing's hurting. Everything feels great as far as sparring has been going, training's been going. And November 10th, we look forward to getting the job done and putting on a show for everybody that'll be there.
I like how you fight as a young fighter. You're coming up in the ranks, you're young. A lot of people don't know about you yet, but here in Florida, everybody knows about you. It reminds me of being in a summer day near the pool and this fly that just doesn't want to get off me. And that's how you throw your punches at your opponent. You're very aggressive, you attack, you pretty much press the action. Talk about Mark Reyes' style and what kind of fighter you are.
That's a good question. I like that. So in the easiest form that I can put it is I don't have a style. I can come forward and work and bang when I need to bang, and I can also box and keep a fighter on the outside and treat him like he's diseased and not let him touch me. It just depends on how the game plan will go with that fighter. Every styles make fights, and every style that I face is always going to be different in some kind of way. So that just goes ahead and goes as far as my adjustments that I'm able to make when I get in the ring.
Usually, you fight when the knockout comes, and when you stop, how do you feel usually when you stop your opponent? You know, it's a great feeling. You jump on the corner of the ropes, your fans are screaming. All your fights have been local. Talk about that. You know, that moment. You know, after the fight when you get the victory.
Definitely, I always feel great after. First of all, I just want to give the thanks to God for every victory, because it just glorifies His name and His word. And secondly, having everybody there, having your friends, family, new people cheer you on and give you a chant, and you know, at the end of it, you're standing up with your hand raised after a knockout victory. It's a beautiful feeling. There's nothing that anybody can take from you in that moment.
Every fighter remembers the amateurs, and you were pretty much a very solid amateur in the rankings coming in as a pro. When you remember that time you became a pro, you know, evaluate your situation going into pro. How did it work out for you, and was it everything you expected it to be?
Definitely, the change was made when we had to find opponents and sit there and look at people I had never gotten a chance before. And the amateurs, you fight 5 days in a row. You don't know who you're fighting, how they fight, different style. Sometimes different cities or regions will have a certain type of style to fight, but almost always, you never had a chance on who you were fighting. So you get in there the first round, and then you know. This was a little bit different. You get to study for an opponent, which I enjoyed. But the butterflies have definitely gone, and I'm just ready to make my mark in this division at 147 and also make a name for myself.
The rankings, the belts, the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, the dreams of being a world champion. Yep. What's your vision? Talk about that as a fighter, a prize fighter, hungry.
Definitely the most you can do in this sport, in my eyes, is to unify a division, stay at the top, and just keep taking out the young guys. You know, I'm a young guy right now. I'm hungry for it. but after each victory, the hunger only grows. The hunger only becomes more. So once I get that belt, I don't want anybody to ever jeopardize that belt and take it from me. So the more I capture, the more I grind in the gym, the more I'll be ready to fight, and the less anyone can ever take from me, because I'm not giving nothing back until I retire.
Now, champ, you know the show is called Slip Punches, so I'm gonna slip a punch at you, okay?
All right.
So protect yourself at all times, okay? The question is this: we're not talking a call out, but we're talking a dream fight.
Okay.
If you as a 147 champion, 147 fighter right now, if you have a dream fight, who would it be against?
I'd take a couple of guys.
Who's your number one guy?
Number one guy, I'm gonna say out of the most respect, because this man's even helped me get prepared for fights, going to national tournaments and things like that. But I'm gonna go with Keith Thurman right now. He's the man at 147, and he's looking sharp still. And that would be my dream fight, is to be in there with Keith Thurman and see how that goes. That's one of my favorite fighters growing up. You know, I watched him grow up from 15 years old until where he is now. So that's one of my dream fights, and he also wants to unify a division as well. So nothing better than that. Just two warriors that will be able to go at it.
I like that. Two humble guys that are really, really serious about this business and really, really serious about what you're doing. Talk about the fight on the 10th. Having your family coming out, home cooking. You know, Fight Night Promotions putting on a great card. Okay, it's going to be a fantastic card in a nice venue here in Tampa. And boxing continues. Boxing's always been popular in the Tampa area. Going back in the ring, talk about that.
It's been a lengthy layoff, you know, a few months since March. So I'm very excited to be able to get back in the ring, and we've been working very hard. Like I said, we've been working really hard in the gym to make sure that we capture this moment. That's all we can do, is just capture the moment. And when those lights turn on and I'm under the lights in the ring, be prepared for anything that's thrown at me. Slip punches, counter, do what we have to do to get the job done and get the man out of there.
Send a message to your fans. If there's something you want to say to your fans, why don't you say something to your fans?
Definitely, this fight is being dedicated to everyone that has been affected, not only by the natural disasters that have been going on in Puerto Rico, but as well in Mexico. I wanna give out my support for each of those individuals that are still battling through this. I'm going through, you know, something that's not very difficult in the comparison as to what they've been going through with having their homes destroyed, loved ones lost. So if I can just get out here, work hard, and fight, then I'm definitely going to go ahead and appreciate all that they're going through and dedicate this fight to them.
Mark, in social media, tell everybody how the fans can follow you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
You can find me on Facebook at Mark Reyes Jr. You can also find me on Instagram at official Mark Reyes Jr. I also have a website, mrjboxing.com, and as well as a boxing Instagram, which is MRJ Boxing.
That's a wrap. Latinbox Gonzalez, Damon reporting live with Welterweight Mark Reyes. Thank you very much for tuning in.
A pound-for-pound exclusive interview with Damon Gonzalez from www.latinboxsports.com. Your boxing news champions.